I am willing to bet a couple doll hairs that you've probably never heard decluttering approached this way. As someone who decluttered 90% of her entire house and went from being a chronically messy person to someone who is very tidy, mostly disciplined, the number one question I get asked from viewers is, where do I start when I'm overwhelmed? If you are feeling completely overwhelmed or you don't even know where to start your decluttering journey, I'm going to give you 5 incredible, super easy steps using ChatGPT that are going to help you transform your space today. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to take your phone and you're going to open up your camera. You want to take a picture of the space that you want to declutter or transform, whether it's a closet, your living room, your kitchen, maybe it's even a cupboard, a pantry, pretty much any space that you would like to start with decluttering. I want you to take a picture. Now, once you have pictures of the spaces you would like to declutter in your home, you're going to start by uploading the space that you would like to declutter first and ask ChatGPT to take this picture and imagine this space clean, decluttered, and organized. Okay, now within a few moments, you're going to get a visual representation of the space you have, but clean, decluttered, and organized. And what this is going to do is it's going to send instant dopamine to your brain because you are visualizing the space as already complete. This is already helping you with the motivation and putting a thought process in your mind, visualizing what this space could look like if it were decluttered. Okay, now moving on to step 2, because motivation is not enough, we need a plan. Once you have the image of your ideal space, ask ChatGPT what are the steps to get there. Because it's one thing to take a look at a beautiful image but not know where to start, especially if your room is extra cluttered or you have a lot of stuff laying around. I would also recommend being as specific as possible with ChatGPT on what type of space this is supposed to be, but what it's serving as now. Does it hold mementos? Does it hold something that's sentimental? Does it hold down belongings that were passed down from a relative? These kinds of things are super crucial for ChatGPT to know because then they can customize a plan that's perfect for you. Okay, once ChatGPT breaks down the steps of where to start decluttering and how, the next thing you're going to ask is, what supplies do I need to start? This is where being super specific with ChatGPT comes in handy, because if you specify and tell them that there are larger items that may need to be thrown away, it can specify a plan. Maybe you need to make a trip to the dump. Maybe you need to get a container. Maybe there are supplies that you may not have that you need to get started with the process. Okay, now that you have the supplies ready, you have a plan, and you have a vision in mind of what you want that space to look like, you're going to ask ChatGPT to assess the space and determine if this is a project that needs to be broken down into several days, weeks, or possibly months. You can also tell ChatGPT at this point whether you are in rescue mode, rhythm mode, or whatever mode or season or stage of life that you are currently in. You can elaborate on your availability, how much time you're willing to put into it every single day, or how much physical capacity you have. If this is a larger project, ask ChatGPT to come up with a schedule that is suitable for you. When you're in this stage, the beautiful thing is that ChatGPT can come up with a printable plan for you to follow. Whether you decide to break down the project into a week or a month, you can ask it to create a customizable checklist so that you can stay on track. And when you have finally decluttered that space, you can go ahead and now ask ChatGPT, what is the best way to maintain this space so that it remains clean, clutter-free, and organized? At this point, ChatGPT may suggest some kind of organizational items, or it may suggest systems, checks, and balances in place so that your space can stay clean. Again, if you treat your ChatGPT like your therapist and literally spill everything you want about that space, how that space is making you feel currently, how you want that space to look, how you want to approach cleaning it, how much time you're willing to spend, if you literally just verbally vomit all of that out into ChatGPT, that is going to be the best way for it to come up with a customizable decluttering plan specifically for you and your space. If you are completely overwhelmed or you have absolutely no idea where to start decluttering or how to start decluttering, I highly recommend taking ChatGPT, uploading the images of the spaces you want, being so specific, so down to the nitty-gritty of how you want that space to look, how you want to feel in that space, the amount of time you're willing to invest into that space, and how quickly you want that project done, and allowing it to come up with a customizable plan that you can follow. I'm going to show very quickly some of the spaces that it had imagined for me, although I'm using it for redecorating purposes. This is such a great tool to use also if you just have clutter everywhere, because it creates a clean slate. I want to show you what this looks like in real life. So I took a picture of my walk-in pantry right now, and I used the prompt, show me what this space would look like clean, decluttered, and organized. I also asked it to keep the same angle because sometimes ChatGPT likes to change up the angles. And I mean, look at this difference. Doesn't this make you want to get in there to clean and organize? This is such a mental game. Okay, now don't judge me, but this is my little closet pantry. pantry and it has been a while since we got in here, but I needed some motivation and this did the trick. And even if I don't go in there and make it look exactly like this gives me so much dopamine right now and the motivation to go in and make it nice and clean and organized. Okay, one more space I want to show you is my current office right now, and although I'm not asking you to decorate, I really want to have a clean slate and I just wanted to imagine what it would look like all clean and organized. It did not fail, even though this is not necessarily the way I want my office to look like. This is what it looks like, clean and organized. Now, if you wanted to take it a step further, what you can do is take a picture of the room that you want to decorate and have ChatGPT imagine it in the style that you would like it. Once you have a clean and decluttered space, this is when you get to really put your personal style into it. So I went around my home and I took pictures of my entryway, of my living room, of my kids' room. Since we recently moved, I haven't had a chance to decorate anything, and so I asked ChatGPT to imagine each space in the organic modern style. You can even ask it to act as your favorite interior designer and to create a shoppable list for you, or to even come up with designer dupes so you can organize, declutter, but also then decorate on a budget. Okay, I hope this video really helped those of you who are really struggling with the overwhelm and the mental load of starting to declutter. If you have any questions regarding decluttering journey, how to use ChatGPT better, please let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. See you guys in my next one.